Good morning, students, and welcome to the online classes of Sacred Heart High School. Our subject for today is Geography, Standard 7th, topic Lesson number 8 How Seasons Occur, Part 2. In Part 1, you have already learned about many things which was taught to you by Sanamis. So, today we will be continuing with the same lesson and it's Part 2. Okay, so there's an activity. Can you tell? So, this activity is related with your chapter number 1. Okay, and there are some questions given on based of it that you have to do certain observations from the months of June, September. Okay, so on the basis of such observations, you all must have noticed that there are different types of days: longest day, shortest day, and the days with same duration. Okay, now we have different seasons also. For example, rainy season, winter season, and summer season. You must have also noticed that the position of the sunrise and the sunset also changes. So, in this lesson, we are going to learn more about it and also the difference in the duration of daytime and nighttime. So, let us begin with our today's explanation. Geographical explanation: apparent motion, movement of the sun. You must have realized through your observations that the position of the sun at sunrise appears to change on the horizon every day. Now, some of you all must have observed that sunrise position on the horizon changes every day. Now, its position appears to move towards the north or south in the course of a year. However, in reality, the sun does not move anywhere. Children, do you think that the sun moves anywhere? And because of the sun's movement, the position of the sunrise and sunset changes? No. The sun is on its own place. That is why this movement of the sun towards the north or south in a year is called the apparent movement of the sun. The position of the rising sun keeps on moving towards the south in the period from 21st June to 22nd December. This period is called Dakshinayan. Which period is called Dakshinayan? The position of the rising sun moving towards the south. Remember, the position moving towards the south is called as Dakshinayan, and the position of the sun moving towards the north is called as Uttarayan. From 22nd December to 21st June, the sun keeps moving on towards the north. This period is called Uttarayan. Let me repeat it once again. When the sun keeps on moving towards the south, it is called as Dakshinayan. And when the sun keeps on moving towards the north, it is called as Uttarayan. The revolution of the earth around the sun and the tilted axis of the earth are the two factors responsible for the apparent movement of the sun. So, children, why do we see many times that the position of the sun, rise and sunset keeps on changing? Does the sun move anywhere? No. But when the earth revolves around the sun and the tilted axis of the earth, it causes these movements of the sunrise and sunset, which is also called as apparent movement of the sun. Seasons occur only with reference to the northern and the southern hemisphere. Okay. Moving on to page number 47. Perihelion and aphelion positions of the Earth. The path of the revolution of the Earth around the Sun is elliptical. The Sun is at one of the two centers of the ellipse. The Sun does not change its position. As the Earth moves in an ellipse, its distance from the Sun does not remain the same. It is at its minimum distance in the first week of January. This is called the perihelion position of the Earth. So, when the Sun is at its minimum distance from the Earth, it is called as perihelion position. In this position, the southern end of the axis is towards the south, towards the Sun. As against this, in the first week of July, the Earth is at the farthest point from the Sun. This is called the aphelion. So when the Sun is at the minimum distance of the Earth, it is called as perihelion. And when it is very far away from the Earth, it is called as aphelion. In this position, the northern end of the axis is towards the Sun, as you can see in the figure 8.2, which shows the position of the Earth in relation to the Sun. You can guess which seasons prevail in which hemisphere. Seasons occur due to revolution of the Earth as well as due to the tilt of its axis of rotation. Why do seasons occur? Because Earth keeps on revolving around the Sun and also rotates around itself in its tilt axis. Geographical explanation. As the Earth revolves around the Sun, the equator receives perpendicular rays on 2 days in a year. This condition occurs on 21st March and 23rd September. On these days, both the poles are at the same distance from the Sun. This is called equinox. So children, when the Earth revolves around the Sun, there are 2 days in a year, and on those 2 days, that is 21st of March and 23rd of September, the equator, that is the, as you can see in the figure, where is the equator? The equator receives perpendicular rays of the Sun. That means direct rays of the Sun on 2 days. Which are those 2 days? 21st of March and 23rd of September. And both the poles are on the same distance from the Sun on these 2 days. And such condition is called as equinox. The illuminated and dark positions of all the parallels, including the equator, are shown in figure 8.3. In the figure, the circle of illumination divides all the parallels from the North Pole to the South Pole equally. Everywhere on Earth, nighttime and daytime are of equal duration. This condition is called equinox. So during the condition of equinox, what happens is, everywhere on the Earth, each and all the places of the Earth, the night time and the daytime are of equal duration. On equinox, the sun rays are perpendicular on the equator. In this condition, the circle of illumination coincides with the great circle defined by two opposite meridians. In the northern hemisphere, spring prevails from 21st March to 21st June, while autumn prevails from 23rd September to 22nd December. The southern hemisphere has the opposite seasons during these periods. So this means that in the northern hemisphere, from 21st March to 21st June, they experience spring season, whereas from 23rd September to 22nd December, they experience autumn season in the northern hemisphere. And in the southern hemisphere, they experience the opposite seasons during these periods. In the northern hemisphere, 21st March is called spring or vernal equinox, whereas 23rd September is called autumnal equinox. The equinox or solstice dates can vary by a day or so. So these dates are not the exact ones. They can also vary either one day before or later. Then geographical explanation. When any one of the poles inclines the most towards the sun, 23-degree half-minute parallel of that hemisphere receives perpendicular sun rays. See figure 8.4. The sun rays are perpendicular at the equator on 22nd March and 23rd September, which are the days of equinox. After 22nd March, other parallels between the equator and the Tropic of Cancer in the northern hemisphere start receiving perpendicular rays sequentially. Only on 21st of June and 22nd December, the sun rays become perpendicular on the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn respectively. These 2 days are called solstice days. So children, these are all the days given on which the sun rays fall perpendicular in the particular regions, okay? In the Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, etc. So when the sun rays fall perpendicular at the equator, those days are called as equinox. And when the sun rays become perpendicular on the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, these 2 days are called as solstice days. Okay, so let's move on. Sun rays are never perpendicular on any of the parallels between Tropic of Cancer and the North Pole, or between the Tropic of Capricorn and the South Pole. 21st June is the longest day and it marks the shortest night in the northern hemisphere. Children, 21st June is the longest day in which hemisphere? Northern hemisphere. And in the southern hemisphere, 22nd December marks the longest day and the shortest night. Now when 22nd December is the longest day in the southern hemisphere, it is the shortest day in the northern hemisphere. Okay? In the region from the Arctic Circle to the North Pole, the sun remains visible for 24 hours or longer. At the North Pole, the sun is visible in the sky from 22nd March to 23rd September, that is for 6 months. Similar situation prevails in the region between the Antarctic Circle and the South Pole in the period from 23rd September to 21st March. Note that on the equator, the duration of day and night is same throughout the year. Now, seasons have been decided on the basis of the duration of sunlight, equinoxes, and solstices. The equatorial region does not experience any change of season. In the equatorial region, children, the climate does not change at all. It is the same throughout the year. In the places beyond the equatorial region, in either hemispheres, that is in the uh, north and south, summers or winters are experienced one after the other within a year. Likewise, how we experience in the Indian subcontinent, summer season, winter season, other countries also experience the same except for equator. The occurrence of seasons one after the other in a year leads to the cycle of seasons. Generally, there are two seasons, summer and winter, on the earth. However, in some places, seasons are taken to be four in all. In some places, there are two main seasons, and in some places, there are four main seasons. The changes in the atmosphere, vapor in the air, and wind and the precipitation also influence the season. Continuous occurrence of rain in a specific period gives rise to an additional season besides summer and winter. Due to the local conditions, seasons other than summer and winter are seen to occur in different parts. In different parts of the earth or in different regions of the earth, the seasons are different depending upon the atmosphere, the water vapor in their air, the wind, and also precipitation. Now, for example, in our country, there is rainy season for specific period. Therefore, we consider four seasons. That is summer, the rainy season, that is the period of retreating monsoon and winter. Now, there are four seasons in Europe and North America too. They are summer, autumn, winter, and spring. So, have you all understood, children? In different regions, there are different seasons depending upon the climate and atmosphere of the region. Then comes the cycle of seasons and the living world. If the Earth's axis were not tilted, the same climatic conditions would have prevailed throughout the year. Now, because the Earth's axis are tilted, we experience different seasons or different climatic conditions. But if they were not tilted, then we would have experienced the same climatic condition throughout the year. The seasons would not have occurred. There would be no seasons. One and the same type of climatic conditions would have prevailed or stayed on each of the different parallels. It is the tilt of the axis that leads to occurrence of seasons, change and diversity on the earth. What causes the change in the seasons and the diversity on the earth? The tilt of the axis of the earth. The living world on the earth is affected by the cycle of seasons. For example, the region between 66 degree 30 Celsius and 90 degree in both the hemispheres, even the mild sunlight available for a part of the year gives rise to certain flora and fauna. Flora and fauna means I have already explained you all before. Plants, animals, birds. In the Antarctic region, at the southernmost part of the earth, birds like penguins, fish like seal and animal like walruses are found. They are found in the Antarctic region where there is no vegetation, no trees, only ice. In the polar region of the northern hemisphere, animals like reindeer, polar bears, Arctic foxes, etc. are found. People living in this region too have adapted to the natural conditions prevailing in that region. Our adaptation to climatic changes is possible only up to a certain limit. This is why, that is why organisms prefer a certain habitat. During extreme cold climatic conditions, when the food supply becomes scarce, means less, a number of birds and animals migrate temporarily. Trees bear fruit in a particular season. We have seasonal fruits. Mango in summer season, likewise. Therefore, agricultural seasons also depend onto the local climatic conditions. In polar areas, snow line shifts north or south according to seasons. This affects migration of birds and animals. So children, this was all about our lesson number 8, that is how seasons occur. I hope you all have understood this lesson. We shall meet in our next lecture. Till then, thank you. Stay home and stay safe.